Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
The next part, what we are going to cover today is your allowance plan. And we have discussed on that multiple times. Let's see how exactly it is done. The task is create allowance plan. Once I go ahead and create an allowance plan, you see there are options that is going to come. And I have explained to you that there are two parts, reimbursable and non-reimbursable. Once I check it, it will become a reimbursable allowance. This section, we don't care to be very honest with you because this has to come from finance. And for which item they are going to give the reimbursement, we will not know. This will be taken care by the finance team, and these things will not be part of your package also. We will see at the last. Let's try to cover all the things which is non-reimbursable first. I'm putting today's date and let's say non-reimbursable amount-based plan. Amount-based plan is basically a fixed number that you are going to give it to any employee. You can put like Diwali 7 underscore performance bonus. If I have something like this performance bonus, then it asks you for your eligibility rule. If you want to add the eligibility rule, you can. There's no problem. We can just try to do that. But again, it is not mandatory because we can go ahead and make the changes as per the requirement. I can have the same performance bonus plan and I can use it with any job profile or compensation grade that you want to use. Does that make sense that I want to get the performance bonus same and I don't want to link it with any eligibility? I just keep it same for every people in that department. I can just make in that way. That is a part of it. Now I've added it. It is not necessary. Again, compensation element. What will be base pay? Then amount. I give you an example that I have hired somebody as a birthday consultant and I'm giving a package of 12 lakhs or 1.2 million INR or rupees. In that case, what will happen? A 10 lakh will be my fixed part and 2 lakh is going to be my variable. This 2 will be coming here. And currency, I'll put it in INR. Frequency, I'll put it as annual. And you see there is an option that says no override. No override. I can check it. That later on no one can make any changes. There is one more thing which is very important that I'm going to give it to my full-time employees. I'm not going to give it to a contractual worker. And then you see this option which says process eligibility and says exclude from merit. Now, if you are building some incentive plans or some plans which is not part of your appraisal cycle, then you can check this box. Like you have one-time payment. All those are not part of your appraisals. But when you say performance bonus, it clearly indicates that it is about your performance measurement. And based on your grade, you're going to get the bonus. I cannot check this. I will not check this because if I check it, then this part of the salary will not be considered in the time of your appraisals. Workday has a typical name for appraisal cycle, which is your merit. It is basically called as merit cycle also. Some companies have started using the same terminology and some companies are still using the common terminology as appraisals. It all depends upon the organization where you are working and what they are using. But here it will be the same. I will not check it and I'll go ahead and click on. And once I click on, it is created. My bonus plan is ready. I just have to combine it with the package, the fixed part, and then it will become a package, which we will do at the end of this chapter. That how do we go ahead and create a package. Then comes the next part. Now what is that? Any guess? Percentage based plan. And then we have discussed on this also that some organizations do not give you a fixed number as your variable amount. What they do, they will tell you whatever your base package is, we are going to give 10% of that as a performance bonus. If that is 10 lakhs or 1 million, 10% of 10 lakhs, how much it is, guys? 1. That is how the number is decided. And this percentage is calculated on some basis. We will see what that basis is. I'm not putting any eligibility rule. You see this compensation basis, that is where the percentage would lie. And this compensation basis is going to be your total base pay. Whatever is your fixed amount, it is basically your total base pay and this will not change. It will always remain the base pay. Now here you have to put the percentage, let's say 10% and frequency. Of course, it is going to be annual if it's performance bonus. You can check it here also. No override. Now you see 10% of the total base pay. Whatever I'm going to get is going to be my performance bonus. And they will calculate and put that number in your package also, that in your bonus or your incentive you're going to earn this much and that will again be part of your package. Then comes this option which is ceiling. What do you understand by the word ceiling? Is it the maximum that they can go up to? It's basically the cap. You are putting a limit. If my package is, if I've kept the limit as 2 lakhs or 2 million, to 2000 K. If the bonus limit is 2000 K or 2 lakhs, my fixed package may go up to 5 million or 50 lakhs. Still, my bonus will remain as 2. Does it make sense? I'll scroll it down now and then you have this option. Exclude from merit. Again, I'm not going to exclude it. It should be a part of my merit cycle and I'll go ahead and click on. Now both the allowances have been created. The task is create again the allowance plan. We'll check that. Don't worry about it. Very quickly. We are moving today just to make sure that you know we are able to cover it properly. Every time we are selecting unit-based plan or sorry, we have done a percentage also. First we checked amount based, then we worked on percentage based, and then now we are looking into unit based. And I'll go ahead and click on here. Guys, we are now into this plan, which is your unit based plan. Unit basically means some measurement. If we have some unit, for some incentives, I give you an example that let's say you work in a support project where you get tickets or you get cases. And let's say that we have a target for you that in a month you should close 40 tickets. That is your 100% productivity. If you are not matching that, if you are not able to reach 40% productivity, you're not performing good. That's just a criteria. There are 20 days and then you have 2 tickets per day to close. The 20 into 2, which becomes 40 days. Correct. If you have 40 tickets. And let's say there's a huge backlog. The backlog has gone really high and the management decides that. Let's give some incentives that people can work little extra and close more tickets. They say that per ticket that you close, we'll pay you 1000 rupees extra. And that is above the productivity target for you. For example, I am supposed to close 40 cases, and if I close for one, I'll get 10,000 as an incentive. That is per case. Is that understood by everybody? How do we put that as a plan? What we will put something like view LLE 7 underscore, maybe backlog incentive plan, something like that. And we are not linking it with eligibility rule. Now here you see compensation element. Now compensation element is basically my base plan. But I have to select the unit because it is a unit-based plan. Let's say that I have to look into unit. It would be more like cases. Let's see if I have case or cases, whatever it is. Yes, I have got a unit as case, but let me show you what are the different types of units you have. Basically, if you look into it, it will have all the units that you would have seen or understood up till now, like kilo, acre, big, book, bottle, box, gallon, gram, gross. Everything you are able to see here. Out of that, I'm going to use cases. Or if some company wants to use tickets, they can use tickets also. And then frequency. This frequency will be monthly because it says a kind of a monthly incentive. Currency. Let's say I'm putting it in INR. And then if you scroll up a little bit, it says apply to FTEs. No, I'll give it to my contract workers also. Then says number of units. I cannot define the number of units here because we don't know how many people can close how many. If you are closing 2, then you will get 2,000. If you are closing 10, you will get 10,000. If you're closing 20 extra, you'll get 20,000. I can only define the unit, I'll say 1,000. And then you see you don't have that option here. Exclude from merit. You see that because these kind of plans are never part of your appraisals or you don't have to exclude it also. That's the reason you will never see that type of plan here. And now I'll go ahead and click on. Now my all 3 plans are configured and it is not necessary that you use. You know everything. It all depends upon your requirement. If you want to use only amount-based plan, just put amount-based. If you want to use percentage-based, just put percentage-based. You don't need to create all 3. I just wanted to explain it to you, with an example that you can use it whenever you think is the time. Why you kept number of units blank? We don't know. For example, you are closing the tickets. If you can close 2 tickets, then it will be 2,000. You have just mentioned the per unit amount. Per unit amount, it is decided that anybody who closes 1 extra, they'll get 1,000. If you're closing 2 extra, you'll get 2,000. I did not put any number of units. There are certain incentive plans which is capped on number of units. Also, maybe that scenarios will come in your real time. Then you can put it in that way. But we have now configured all 3. Amount-based, percentage-based and unit-based. From the non-reimbursable allowances that we have. Very important to remember, when you have non-reimbursable, there are 3 options: amount-based, percentage and unit-based. Now let's go into the reimbursable part, although we may not be able to create because we don't have the permissions. We can at least see how exactly it looks like. When you go into this section, which is amount-based plan, and it is reimbursable, guys. Now, when you say reimbursable, which means you have to produce a bill, that is more important. Here you see plan name. I can put like cab reimbursement. If your company gives cab reimbursement, then that expense item should be here. That's a company car. See, there is no option, which means it has not been configured in this, and we don't have the permission to do that also. Let's see if I have something in miscellaneous. What happens when you get certain things in this way? Guys, you have to very be sure that what exactly am I going to choose? It is something that you have to make sure that you are able to put the data in the place. And this expense item is going to come from which place? Who will give it to us? Tell me. No expense item will be given to you by your finance team company. And that what? For what items you can go ahead and get the reimbursement. That is what has to be mentioned here, that I spent my money to get this for the company. I spent the money to come to office. That's the reason I need a reimbursement. If some company gives that, they will give it to you. Let's say I need some computer peripheral like my mouse. That was not working and I bought it by myself, and you have to reimburse. Again, you have to go into this section. See if that is available. See computer accessories. There is no item in that because it has not been configured, but in real time, you will see that value coming up here. And when you have the real time value, then what you need to do, you need to put that. And you need to put that expense accumulator. Expense accumulator basically means they will tell you that in a year you can have one mouse from the office. You can put like year to date. And in case you're submitting cab reimbursements or any other reimbursement, in that case you can use month to date also. Because in a month you don't know how many times your cab broke down, office cab did not come. And you come, you know you're basically taking it like a monthly reimbursement. I hope it is clear what is expense accumulator. How exactly are we going to use it? Like for LTA, it would be like 4 years or like that. No, that is not part of this. That is not part of your compensation. LTA is a component of your base pay. You are again getting confused because we understood that I have a fixed package out of that 10 lakh. If I am keeping a 10 lakh as a fixed salary, I will divide that by 12. And then it will become my monthly salary. Correct. Now that bifurcation of monthly salary, that how much it will be, if I divide by 12, then it will be around something around 78, 75,000. HRI is one of your component. These components are not decided by us. Again, I'm saying these components are decided by your finance team. That how much basic salary they want to give, how much HRA they want to keep, how much convince allowance they want to keep, how much special allowance they want to give. They can create a plan name HRA also. No, that is not related to your allowance plan. Again, I'm saying allowance plan does not mean HRA or convince allowance. These are all your separate allowance that you are going to create apart from whatever finance team is creating. Other than a CTC. Other than you know the fixed salary. If you have a package of 10 lakhs, it will be broken down by the finance team because based on that, they will have to give the taxes. Every company has to pay the taxes and accordingly they choose the base salary and accordingly your provident fund and everything gets deducted. It is not HA's responsibility to bifurcate it. It will be done by the finance team. You will say that this is a fixed package we have offered and they have accepted. Now they will give you the breakup. Once you negotiate what happens, they will tell you that we can offer you a package of 10 as fixed and 2 as variable. If you say yes, I'm with that. Then what they will say, what we will do, we will give you the breakup and we will send you the offer letter. Correct. That is how the negotiation happens. Once you say that I'm with the package, they will send those details to the finance team. Now finance team will prepare the breakup, how each part of the salary is broken down, and then they will give the details which you will send in an offer letter to the candidate. This is how it works. Now you see allowance default that you want to give a specific number by default. That every month I am giving you some allowance as your, by default. You don't need to raise any bill for that. That also is a possibility. Let's say there is an allowance called internet allowance. What I'm trying to say is if you have a, like allowance plan, which is by default, you don't need any bill for that. And that is like internet allowance. Before this pandemic, a lot of company did not create or they did not have any plan as internet allowances. What they said that you continue to work from home, we will give you, let's say, in 1,000 rupees extra per month as your internet allowance. You don't have to show any bill or you don't have to give any bill for that. But you will get every month in your salary 1,000 rupees extra. That is by default. That is basically called as allowance default. Does that make sense? Then you see, you want to give it to your full-time employees. Generally, all these things are even given to my, not my, basically the company's consultant also. Because of company reasons, they are traveling or because of company issues, their laptop is broken or the mouse is not working. Then how will they work? Even if they have bought it, they will get the reimbursement from the organization. And then you see this option exclude from merit. In this case, we should check this because these things cannot be part of your package. And even this should not be part of your appraisals. We cannot save it. The reason is we don't have an expense item. Even if I go out and click on, I'll get an error. You see that? That expense item is mandatory. Without that, you cannot submit this allowance plan. This is about your amount-based allowance plan. Let's say I go back into allowance plan and this time the allowance plan will be different. What will be the allowance plan? Unit-based. And that is again reimbursable. Reimbursable unit-based plan. When you have this reimbursable plan and then it is unit-based. Unit-based, we understood. Let's say I am putting a reimbursable allowance which is unit-based. Now, what is unit-based? Which means there is something to measure, then only I can go ahead and do it. Fuel expense per kilometer expense. Here I can mention that by kilometer. Then again in that, let's say fuel reimbursement. Expense item. You have to find it, otherwise it will not be there. If it is there, I don't think that comes because we have not set it up anything. This is the one at travel and entertainment. There is no option. Basically, this needs to be set up and as I said, company card also is there. You get few reimbursements. Company card does not mean that you are going to get fuel reimbursement. The company is sending it to you. That is what I wanted to show you, that this expense item is mandatory. And again, generally everyone claims it month to date. No one waits till end of the year to claim the fuel bill. They will do it every month. It will be basically month to date, month to custom start date. Whatever you want to use, both the options are available. And then again, you need to put the unit frequency currency here. You can add your eligibility because not every employee gets the fuel reimbursement. If you are on such a level, like director or senior manager or senior director somebody, then you can claim it. In that case, you can put this as eligibility rule. But again, this is something which will not be as per your package. It is not part of your package. Don't try to mix it. Don't try to put it in any package whenever you want to create. And again, you will give this to your full-time employees. You will not give it to your contractors for sure. Number of units that you can cap. That maximum you can put is like, let's say 10 kilometers and 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers per day. And you're coming for a month to office, which is 400, and per unit amount you can fix it at like 15. It is like 6,000 per month you are getting from the office. Are you getting the plan? This will. It's not that it will straight away be given to your salary account. No, it will go into the verification process. And there is a lot of things that goes on the finance side. When anyone goes into the finance module, there is procurement, vendor management. All those things are part of it. You have to go through some business processes there to put the approval process and everything. Well, that is not part of our course, but just to explain you, to help you understand how does that work, I'm trying to tell about it. But all those are not part of our course, guys. We completed the allowance plan. And then we completed eligibility criteria, compensation grade and profile, and then we completed the allowance plan. Now what is left? In this chapter, we are left with compensation package and then package. What is this package about? Package is a combination of compensation grade plus compensation grade profile. If you want to use compensation grade, you can't use compensation grade profile. But if you want to use compensation grade profile, then you can't use compensation grade. You have to choose one of them, and then you see this option, a compensation plan or allowance plan. The compensation plan or allowance plan is same. There's no change in that. Let's try to create a package. The task to create a package is create compensation package. We have to click on. Now you see this option. Compensation grades, compensation plans. When you try to create a package, let's say I'm creating a package for Delhi 7, account executive. Now you see compensation grade. I will try to find the compensation here. I'm sorry. Again, give me some. See, I have got the account executive and I also have got the manager. Do you see that? It all depends upon me what I want to choose, but I will choose account executive compensation grade. And then in this compensation plan, all my allowance plans will be coming. If I just create it, see all my allowance plan is coming. Backlog incentive plan, performance bonus plan. And I think I did not add the code to that particular part. It was amount-based plan. That's the reason it is not coming. Let's use percentage performance bonus percentage. I think did not add that. Now you see the eligibility rule is also linked. If you look into this, the eligibility rule is also linked. If you want to put that performance bonus as a part of your package, do link your eligibility rule that it becomes easy to find it out. Now my variable amount and my fixed amount is put together. Do you see that? This is my fixed amount, this is my variable amount. And now some companies also have advanced compensation enabled. Now when you have advanced compensation, although that is not part of the curriculum, but still I'm showing it to you. There are a lot of things like I'll show you create configurable compensation basis. When I click on that, you see what are the things which is going to come. You may not have seen that. You see the salary plans. This is a chapter in itself. Then you have period salary plans. Do you know what is a period salary plan? Any. It is not necessary that you get a pay monthly in some countries. What happens is the pay is given us once in 15 days or a weekly payment or daily also. There is a specific period. That is the reason we call it as period salary plan, and then allowance plan is the same, that we don't make any changes. But now you see there is bonus plan, stock plans, commission plans, calculated plans. Now all these are different, and then they're all a chapter in itself. Retirement saving plan, future payment plan. All these things are part of your package which you want to use if you want to go ahead and perform these advanced. Which model these are covered? Advanced compensation. You have more things in the advanced compensation. That's the reason I said that this is for compensation, which is just like a base for your advanced. If you don't know how to configure this, you would not be able to use those advanced compensation, because that will also come in this only, because when you're creating a package, then only you solid compensation basis. You can add this as a basis in this particular part. Some company gives you RCSU. RCSUs is basically, what does that mean, is your shares, some stocks. You can add that also as a part of your package. Does it make sense? I hope it's clear to you. Oh then, guys, now our package is also created. How do we send the offer letter that you will study when you go into the recruitment? You know module, because offer letter is picked up based on this salary only. I give you an example. That's someone who is getting into the organization, and you know my range of salary is 4 to 12. I'm just giving an example. At 4 lakhs to 12 lakhs, and someone who is getting 3.5, and they said, I need 30% hike. 30% hike of 3.5 is how much? 4 lakh. 4.5. My base pay starts with 4. What I'll do? I'll give the base 4 and 50,000 as a variable amount. My work is done. In that the person falls in segment 1 itself. A lot of things is taken care of. And that will be the most easiest choice by a recruiter. recruiter will be very happy to offer that because you fall in segment 1 only. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.